I told my hairdresser to just cut it short once, and I cried in the car for 20 minutes. That was 12 years ago, and it's the exact mistake I see women make with pixie cuts over and over again. A pixie can be the most flattering thing you ever do to your hair after 60, or it can age you overnight. And the difference usually comes down to 7 specific choices most women never think twice about. I've watched hundreds of these cuts go right and go wrong. And today I'm walking you through every single one. So you walk into that salon chair knowing exactly what to ask for. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and the best fixes for women over 50 so you get real results fast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Mistake number 1. Cutting it too uniform. Here's something most women don't know until it's too late. A pixie cut with every section the same length is the single fastest way to make fine hair look thinner than it actually is. It's not the shortness that ages you, it's the flatness. When every strand ends at the same point, there's nothing for the eye to catch, no movement, no shadow, no lift, just a smooth cap sitting on your head. You've probably felt this before. Maybe you've walked out of the salon feeling like your whole face just got heavier, and you couldn't explain why. That's it. That's the reason. The fix is called point cutting, and it's the single request that changes everything about how a pixie reads on a mature face. Instead of the stylist cutting straight across each section with the blades closed, they turn the shears vertically and cut into the ends at an angle, breaking up that flat line into dozens of tiny irregular tips. You ask for it by name. You say please point cut the ends instead of blunt cutting them. And watch how differently they hold the shears. This isn't a texture spray fix or a product fix. This happens at the cutting stage. And it's permanent until your next appointment. What it does is give every layer its own edge. So light catches at different depths through your hair instead of bouncing off one flat plane. Your hair suddenly has dimension even in a single color, even second day, even air dried. The result is immediate. Women tell me their pixie suddenly looks like it has more hair in it, when really it's the exact same amount, it's just moving differently now. That's the part nobody explains. Volume isn't about quantity, it's about how the ends behave. A point-cut pixie catches light in a dozen tiny places instead of one big flat sheet. And that alone can take years off how soft and lived-in your whole look feels. I had a woman write to me last spring who'd had 3 pixies cut by 3 different stylists over 2 years, all uniform, all making her feel older, and the 4th stylist finally point-cut it. And she said it was the first time in years she caught her reflection and actually smiled first, before she even thought about it. The swap is simple to picture. Before, a smooth uniform cap with one flat length throughout. After, the same short length but with textured, irregular tips catching light at every angle. Next up is a mistake that's not about the cut at all. It's about what happens the morning after you leave the salon. And it might be the one you're doing right now without realizing it. Mistakes number 2 and number 3. Wrong part, wrong sideburn length. Most women choosing a pixie cut have no idea that the part in their hair is doing more work on their face shape than the cut itself. A center part on a pixie can visually lengthen a round face into something that looks pulled and severe, while the same exact haircut with a deep side part softens the same face immediately. This one decision, made in about 4 seconds at the start of a cut, shapes how the entire rest of the haircut sits on you. If you've ever had a pixie that just felt off in a way you couldn't name, this is very often the reason, not the length, not the color, the part. The fix here is to ask your stylist to find your part based on your brow arch, not your habit. Most of us part our hair the same way we have since we were 20, out of pure muscle memory, without ever checking if it still suits our current face. A good stylist will hold a comb up and find the natural cowlick at your crown, then angle the part just outside the peak of your eyebrow, which creates a soft diagonal sweep rather than a hard vertical line. This small angle does something remarkable. It draws the eye in a gentle curve across your forehead instead of straight down the middle, which softens everything below it, your cheekbones, your jawline, all of it. Once that part is set correctly, the whole pixie starts to lean and move the way it's supposed to instead of sitting stiff. The result is a face that looks lifted without anyone being able to say exactly why. That's the real power of a good side part. It's invisible as a technique but obvious in effect. People just tell you that you look well-rested or glowing, and they can't point to the part in your hair as the reason, but it is. The second mistake in this part is sideburn length. And it's one almost nobody asks about. When a stylist cuts the sideburn area too short, straight across at the top of the ear, it exposes the entire ear and a long stretch of neck skin at once, which can be unforgiving on a mature neckline. Left too long, on the other hand, it reads outdated, like a leftover from a much older style era. Neither extreme does you any favors, and most women never even think to bring it up. Ask specifically for a soft taper at the sideburn, ending just at the earlobe rather than above or below it. This one small adjustment frames the face instead of exposing it, and it softens the transition from hair to skin, so there's no harsh line for the eye to catch. Combined with the correct part, this changes the entire architecture of how the cut sits around your face. Picture the swap. Before, a stark center part paired with a sideburn cut too high, exposing the whole ear and a long stretch of neck. After, a soft angled side part paired with a gentle taper ending at the earlobe, framing the whole face instead of exposing it. Coming up is the mistake that has nothing to do with cutting at all, and everything to do with what happens the second you step out of the shower. Mistake number 4. Skipping the root lift routine. Here's the surprising part most women never hear from their stylist. The exact same pixie cut can look completely different depending on what happens in the first 90 seconds after you towel off your hair, and almost nobody is taught what those 90 seconds should look like. You can have the best cut in the salon and still walk around all day with hair that sits flat against your scalp by 10 in the morning. And it's not the cut's fault, it's the routine, or the lack of one. You've probably felt the frustration of watching a hairstylist blow your pixie out into something gorgeous, then trying to replicate it at home and getting nowhere close. The missing piece is almost always root lift applied while the hair is still dripping, not after a rough towel dry, not after it's already started to air dry. You work a dime-sized amount of root lift mousse directly at the scalp, focusing on the crown, then you flip your head forward and blast the roots with a dryer on a diffuser attachment for about 90 seconds before doing anything else. This is the moment your hair decides how it's going to sit for the rest of the day, and skipping it means fighting a losing battle with product later. Once the roots are set, you flip your head back up and finish drying with your fingers scrunching gently upward at the crown, never brushing down, never flattening with your palm. This keeps the lift you just built instead of collapsing it right back down. The change this makes is dramatic. The same haircut that looked thin and tired by noon now holds real height and shape from morning until night. And it costs you an extra 90 seconds, nothing more. Women tell me this is the single biggest, "Why didn't anyone tell me this sooner?" moment in the whole pixie journey. It's not about buying more product, it's about the order and timing of the two products you probably already own. Once you nail this routine, the cut finally looks the way it did the day you walked out of the salon, every single day, not just the first one. The swap is simple. Before, hair air dried without root work, flat by mid-morning, no lift at the crown all day. After, root lift applied while soaking wet, diffused 90 seconds, height that holds until bedtime. I'll admit something now. The next mistake is the one I made myself for almost 2 years before a stylist finally caught it and gently called me out. Mistakes number 5 and number 6. Too short a nape, ignoring glasses fit. I sat in that chair and let my stylist buzz the back of my neck almost to skin, thinking short meant sharp, thinking sharp meant modern. It didn't, it just meant exposed. A nape cut too close to the skin on a mature neck can draw attention to areas most of us would rather soften, not spotlight, and it's a mistake I see repeated in salon after salon because clients rarely speak up about the back of their own head. They can't see it happening. The fix is asking for a longer nape guard, specifically a number 4 or 5 instead of the number 1 or 2 most stylists default to on a pixie. This leaves a soft half-inch to inch of hair at the back rather than skin-closed stubble, and that small amount of length changes the whole silhouette from severe to soft. You still get every bit of the cropped, easy care pixie feel up top, but the back of your neck gets a gentler transition instead of a hard stop. Ask your stylist to show you the guard length before they start. Most will happily hold it up so you can see exactly what a 4 looks like compared to a 2, and you'll immediately understand the difference in your hand. What changes is how the whole cut reads from behind, which matters more than you'd think, because people see the back of your head in elevators, at dinner tables, walking away from conversations, more often than you'd guess. A softened nape means the cut looks intentional and elegant from every single angle, not just the one you check in the mirror. The second mistake in this part catches almost every glasses wearer off guard, and it's simply not accounting for where your glasses sit when the cut is planned. A pixie cut with hair falling directly over where your temple arms rest gets pushed, flattened, and creased within an hour of wearing your glasses, no matter how well it was styled that morning. Bring your actual glasses to the appointment and put them on partway through the cut, so your stylist can see exactly where the arms sit and cut just slightly shorter and more textured in that specific zone. This tiny adjustment means your hair sits naturally around the frames instead of getting trapped and dented by them. And it holds its shape whether your glasses are on or off, all day long. The swap. Before, skin clothes nape stubble paired with hair that creases under glasses arms within the hour. After, a softened inch of length at the nape paired with hair cut to sit naturally around your frames all day. Next, I'm sharing the mistake that has nothing to do with the salon chair at all, and everything to do with what you do between appointments. Mistake number 7, waiting too long between trims. This last one surprises almost everyone I talk to. A pixie cut grows out completely different from longer hairstyles. And waiting your usual 8 or 10 weeks between appointments the way you might have with shoulder-length hair can quietly wreck the entire shape before you even notice it's happening. Longer styles grow out into more length. That's really it. But a pixie grows out into a completely different silhouette. Corners soften into mush, the nape gets shaggy, the sides start creeping over your ears. And by week 6 you're not wearing the haircut you chose anymore. You're wearing whatever it turned into on its own. The fix is booking your next trim before you even leave the salon. Every 4 to 5 weeks, no exceptions, and treating it the same way you'd treat a standing dentist appointment, non-negotiable and already on the calendar. So you're never making the decision fresh each time. A pixie is a shape maintenance haircut, not a grow-it-out haircut, and the whole reason it looks so sharp and youthful in the first 2 weeks is precisely because that shape is being actively maintained, not left to its own devices. 4 to 5 weeks keeps the architecture intact, the point cutting at the end stays crisp, the nape stays soft but defined, the part stays clean. What actually shifts here is confidence, not vanity. When your cut is fresh you spend zero mental energy each morning wondering if it looks okay. You just get up and go. And that's a kind of freedom that's easy to underestimate until you've lived both sides of it. Women who stick to the 4 to 5 week rhythm tell me they stopped avoiding mirrors and video calls, because the cut simply always looks the way it's supposed to. I think about a woman I heard from last year who'd stretched her pixie appointments to 12 weeks for over a year, trying to save money, and ended up spending more in the long run buying products trying to fix a shape that just needed a trim. Once she moved to a strict 5-week schedule, she said it was the cheapest transformation she'd ever paid for, because it wasn't a transformation at all. It was just consistency. The swap. Before, a soft overgrown shape at week 8 with no defined edges left. After, a crisp defined pixie at week 4 with every line still sharp. That's all 7. And now you know exactly what separates a pixie that ages you from one that makes people ask what you've done differently. So now you know it, the part that draws your face, the taper that frames it, the root routine that holds it, the nape that softens it, and the 5-week rhythm that keeps it sharp. 7 small decisions that decide whether a pixie ages you or makes you look like the most put-together woman in the room. Tell me in the comments, which one of these 7 mistakes did you recognize yourself in first? Next week I'm breaking down the exact words to say to your colorist to avoid the gray blending mistake that makes women look washed out instead of radiant. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.